Welcome to Caravan of the Year 2025, sponsored by MSA 4x4 Accessories. Now, Snowy River has forged its reputation on value-driven caravans, right up to being the #2 brand in Australia. Now, they're moving into new markets with motorhomes and hybrid caravans, and this one, the SRH-16, is a feature-packed couples hybrid that has an innovative new suspension system dubbed SR-Xplore, as well as one of the most feature-packed kitchens I have seen. Now, it plays in a fiercely competitive price bracket, with this one a touch under $64,000. We're here in Warrnambool. We've already had a few days to look through and tow the SRH-16. So let's go talk to our expert team of judges in John, Mel and Alison. So John, ease of use is an important consideration for hybrids. How did you find the Snowy for setup and ease of use?
I think they've done a real good job with it. I think a lot of hybrids are fairly complicated and they take a long time to put together. There's a space for something that's a lot easier, and I think Snowy River have done a good job with this. They've got an electric lifting roof, which makes a hell of a difference. It's 2.1 metres high, so it gives it a really good filling of space once you're in there. People coming from camper trailers, you're going to find this really attractive because it's easy to use and really fast to set up. Basically, you jump out of your car, lift up the roof, and you're sheltered and ready for sleep if you want to be. I like the fact that it's got an external and an internal kitchen. It's only a little Dometic combi arrangement, but if you want to have a cuppa early in the morning or cook up some dinner if it's crappy outside, then I think that's a really useful thing. The north-south bed, people like that. It's not a walk around, but you can get in there pretty easily and you don't disturb your partner if you don't want to get up. It's a little bit more difficult than a walk around bed, but it's quite acceptable, especially for young people. Access in and out is also straightforward.
So Alison, Snowy River unashamedly build their trailers offshore, but have been doing it for 10 years and seem to be refining and updating products quite regularly. So how'd you find the build quality in the new model SRH-16?
Pretty contemporary, Tim. The Snowy River hybrid is an off-road hybrid, so it's got a really strong 6-inch RAPTOR-coated gooseneck chassis. It's got an aluminium frame. The aluminium frame's embedded into the composite foam core panels, which are 32mm thick, and then there's fiberglass either side of those panels, inside and out. So good insulation properties, nice and lightweight, one-piece roof, one-piece floor. It's a nice build quality.
Mel, if you were a couple taking the SRH-16 off the beaten track a little bit, what's going to be like to live with?
It's quite easy living, I have to say. There are a few compromises. What Snowy River has done is taken a standard caravan layout, front bed, rear bathroom arrangement, and compressed it slightly. Everything's fitted in, but a few things have been trimmed down a bit. Like for instance, in the bathroom, that's much trimmed down, and there's the elbow room around the cassette toilet is a bit limited. They've also been clever too. There's only a small sideways lounge, but they've managed to design a bed so it has sort of a bed seat designed at the end of the bed, which lifts up quite easily. You fold the mattress back and there's an extra seat there, so that sort of creates room. The bed itself, I did a bit of a brief test on it, had a snooze. It's quite comfortable for sleeping. Outside, there's a full kitchen and swings out into position, and there's certainly plenty of room there. They've done a standard sort of camper trailer kitchen, which works very well. I think it's a good prospect for someone that doesn't want to tow a large trailer.
John, what was innovative about the SRH-16?
Well, I think the design itself is pretty innovative. It's more caravan-y than a lot of the hybrids that we see, and I think a lot of people will like that. The fact that you can get in there and get into the bed really quickly, the lifting electric roof, the electric awning, the touchscreen Rarity, that's a real boost. The insulated walls in this design I think are better, and the thicker insulation in the roof gives it a better feeling inside than a lot of the hybrids that you see. I really like the idea of having the double thickness walls for the vinyl. You see that in high-end pop tops as an option, but not often as a standard feature, and I think that's a really good idea. External pantry is a really good design. I like the way that it swings around and clips onto the side of the van to give it an extra degree of steadiness, and it's a good design, easy to use. I've not seen that Malenko combination TV aerial and dust suppression before, and I thought that was a pretty neat thing. Yeah, so all in all, yeah, it's brought some new features to the space, I think.
So Alison, it's an off-road hybrid. Who's the prospective buyer for it, and is it going to tick the boxes for them?
So this is a hybrid that is probably a step up for someone who's accustomed to camping in a camper trailer. Gives them a little bit more creature comforts, a bit more usable, livable space. There's a full-size bed in the hybrid that you don't have to fold anything out or down. You just pop the top and all your livable space is right there. Very suitable for a couple who want to hit the road, and you can pretty much take it anywhere.
So Mel, this is an off-road 16-footer with an emphasis on external living, so it's going to want to be fairly self-sufficient. You're going to get off the beaten track a bit. How did it go there?
Very well, I have to say. For a relatively small RV, it's quite well equipped. On the battery and solar panel front, it has a pair of 200 amp hour lithium batteries, 600 watts of solar power, a 2000 watt inverter, and it's all designed by the same company, Rarity, which is a bit of a new player in the market. There's also a DC to DC charger. On the water capacity front, it has 200 litres of fresh water and a 100 litre grey tank. So it's quite well equipped. As with many vans, the weak link is probably the cassette toilet.
John, what did you learn about Snowy River's customer care and warranty?
Tim, they've been around for 10 years now, and so they're pretty well on top of warranty issues. They've got a good network of dealers and repair agents. The warranty is 5 years for the structure of the van. It's warranted for limited unsealed road use, and you've got to be careful about water crossings not going above the floor. It's not for four-wheel drive only tracks, and that's fair enough too. You do need to make sure your servicing's done initially at 3 months and then annually, and the warranty can be transferred to a new owner within the first 2 years. The warranty includes reference to Australian consumer law, as it should, but there's a bit of ambiguity about who's responsible for appliances. I'd like to see that tightened up to make sure that customers realise that it's the dealer who has to ensure that anything that's in the van is fixed up properly.
Alison, hybrids can be quite heavy propositions because they're packing so much into them these days, yet this is only a 16-foot trailer. So what was it like to tow, and what would be a good tow vehicle for it?
It was good to tow, Tim. It had an ATM of 3,000 kilos, so it's not a complete lightweight, but it's a pop top, so it's got a low ride height. It's not overly wide and it's not too heavy, so it could be easily towed by any of the sort of mainstream 4x4 dual cab utes. We towed it with a Ford Ranger. It towed really well, sat comfortably on the road. There was no discernible movement in the vehicle. It was a really great little rig to tow.
So John, what do you think about the X Factor in the Snowy?
I think the thing that stands out when you look at it is the suspension. It's a real standout underneath. You can see it very clearly. It does have adjustment for tow-in and camber, and it goes with the twin spares on the back. The compact size, I think, and the fact that it's so easy to get in and set up, I think will win hearts. The 3000 watt inverter being able to run the aircon, that's a great feature. Those mud terrains have a really good load rating. You can drop them down to real low pressures, like on corrugated roads, and they'll hold up pretty well. You might think that they're just there for looks, but in fact they do have a practical application down the track if you're going to get out into the bush.
SRH-16, on paper, pretty affordable. It's a little bit under $64,000 is the starting price, but what did we see and what do you reckon?
As we looked at it, it's $66,000. I reckon you get a lot of bang for your buck, basically. What you get is a mini caravan layout that's designed for off-road travel, a high-capacity electrical system, a decent sort of water supply. In short, you get all the essentials in a fairly flexible layout. As a bonus, you don't require a large tow vehicle.
I think it was a really interesting entrant this year with the little Snowy. I mean, Snowy's been around for 10 years and they're pretty close to number 2 in the market, which is a pretty good impression. I think they get a bit of kudos from their supercar team, but they're doing a pretty good job.
So thank you for watching us, and if you enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below and we will answer you as quickly as possible.